Welcome again to our session on pivot table. Now let us insert our pivot table using this particular table. When we want to do this, we click on the old table and then we come to this insert section and click here, and then from table range you can see that it has automatically named our table here and then a new worksheet. If we have a very small table, we can still put our pivot table in an existing worksheet. This place we are not going to be clicking it because we are not adding this to a data model. So in Excel, we can actually combine 3, 4, 5 tables together, and all of them, we carry them into pivot table and work with them. But because this is just an introductory session, we will not be working at that level. So in our paid bootcamp, we'll be doing projects at that level, but for the purpose of this platform, we are not going to be doing projects as far as this level for now. Now, so we click OK, and here we are. We are now in our pivot table. So this particular place, this particular sheet, I will name it as pivot table, or let's say pivot sheet. So now the first thing you will notice is that if I click on this, we see this particular region. If I click in the middle here, you see that this has disappeared. So I click back here. So this is what you call pivot table feeds, like it is written here. So there are 4 components. We have the filters, the columns, the rows, and the values. The filters is where we can do some customized filters or even the general ones. The columns is when we want to spread our data or our feed into a column, and then the value is when we want to know the value of a particular feed, and then we have the rows. Now, if you look at this feed here, you will see that everything here is actually the name of a column. So you can see customer name, address, one, city, state. So each of these is representing that particular column and every feature in that particular column. So now let's start with customer ID, or let's start with country ID. So let me search here, country ID. So good. So I will take it and bring it to rows. You can see now rows. So if you come here, you can see that it has taken all of them and put them here. So now let me cancel this. Let's say I want to know the amount, the other value, the amount for each country. So let's click on that value and put it under the value here. So because we want to know its amount, and you can see that. So you can see, so this particular title here, we can edit it. So let me click on this and then I can write on top of it. So let's adjust this. So sum of other value, let's call it amount. And then this particular, let's format this into Naira. So number format, currency, two decimal places. Let's go for dollar. Let's go for dollar. United States dollar. English United States. Do you see it here? And then we click on it. So this is how our preferred table is. So this is just an example. Then let's look into this and see other things we can do. I will click on this and see summarize by. So I can summarize by sum. Currently it's showing us the sum. I can summarize by average. I can summarize by max, min, and then I can also go for more options. Let's go for more options. So all of these values we can do, but we are not going to be doing that now. Now, let's do more. So I will still carry this other value. I will carry it and put under this amount again. And you can see now. So we are going to be using this one as average. So let's click on it. Summarize as average. So average. So let us format it. So let's go back. Just format it. Currency. English United States, and then two decimal places. You can see now this is the average. So for Australia, this is the total amount, and then this is the average for Australia. So let's also work on this. So let's put this as average amount. Good. So now another thing we are going to do is that we want to know the count of customer, like the number of customer that is from each country. So we look at that. How can we do that? Let's go to customer ID, because we believe that, or let's go to, yes, let's do customer ID. Or if you want to know the amount of order, the number of order that came from each country, so let's use order ID. So you can carry order ID. We are still taking it to the value here, put it here. So, and then you can see now that is sum of order ID. We do not want to sum order ID because order ID is not really a value. It's just an identifier. So we want to count its number. So what we are going to do is that we click on this place again, and then we summarize by count. So we count individual values. So we click on count, and you can see now, and you can see that the total here is 194. So if we go back to our data, you can see that we have 195. So, and that is including the title. So if we remove the header, we have 194. So which shows that these particular values are very correct. So now from this page, you can see that we only add one order from Canada, and the amount of that order was this, and it's still the same average. So whereas from US we add 101 order. Do you understand this now? So this particular information might not be very informative sometimes, so we may want to convert it to percentage. But before we do that, let us write something here. So let's call this one number of order. Good. So again, I'm carrying the order ID. I put it under let's carry it again. So it's landing here. Let's put this one there and say percentage. Let's call it order percentage. Good. So here, let's click on it. Summarized by counts. So we have the counts. So again, we are going to click on it and then show value as percentage of column total, row total. So here we are going to use percentage of the grand total. So here now we have 194. We want to know the percentage of each of these. So let's go like that. Show value as percentage of grand total. So you can see now that US alone, the order from US alone is more than 50% of the whole order that was received in that year. So that is very, very important. So now let's see if we can rearrange this and carry. So let's rename this first and say, so I think we did it before, order percentage. So to this, good. So let's click on it again and see, let's see if we can carry this down. So it's okay. Let's move forward. Now, looking at this table, you can get a whole lot of information from here, from the amount from each country to the average amount for that country, number of order for that country, and the percentage of that particular order. And that is the beauty of pivot table. You can do so many things. And then another thing I want us to see is that look at this icon here. If I click on it, I can actually select. So I can say, okay, I want to see for Australia, Canada, and France. And then I click. You can see here we are. It's only showing that particular values. And assuming I want to put this in a chart, so I will come to this place called pivot table analyze. And here I can insert a pivot chart. So you can see the chart. So let's click on it. So the chart is not looking so good, but it's just to show us that you can actually get a chart from a pivot table. And this pivot chart is very, very important as we will still come back to it in the future. So from here now you can see that the country code is here. If I click on it, I can just select everything and then everything is back. You can see now. Now let me remove this chart. Another thing you can do is to add a filter. So let's look at something else you can filter with. Let's look at city. So I will carry this city and take it into the filter here. So you can see this icon here. What this means is that for the whole of the information here, I can choose a particular city that I want to see. So for example, if I do like this, I can say, okay, I only want to see for this particular city. And then I press OK. You can see now. So that city is from Denmark. And you can see. So I can go back again and say, okay, let's do multiple select. I will click on select multiple items. And so okay, let's see this, and then let's go down again. Let's do this. Let's go down and then this. So let's press OK. So those cities that I clicked, these are the data that is related to them. So you can see how much you can go down with this particular method. So I will clear that and select all and move.